Strange times. This is Mr. Polonki, and I hope that I make this entertaining and informational. If I miss anything, please don't hesitate to give me a chat or a text message or email, and I hope I'll be able to answer your questions. So I'm able to screen share, and so you're going to have an experience in this video similar to how the meeting would work for the students. And exponential growth here on this factor. I've gotten so much better, but I still have a lot of area of growth. So what I'm going to do is start screen sharing, and you'll see that these are my teams. So this is geology, and what the students see here is a update of essentially a rolling stream of consciousness here. So they'll get a notice on their Teams meeting that we have a meeting. You notice here this most recent meeting, day 2, which was today, I just recorded that, was our wrap up of minerals. And so anytime a student misses, they're able to go back and watch the recorded meeting there in Teams. This is pretty nifty here. A new thing we have is through Teams, if you have an assignment, so I can go to student view, the students, when they have a lab to work on, what they're able to do is open this up in a new app for many people. It is called OneNote. And so it's going to give it a thought here. OneNote is super cool because what you can do is as soon as students start interacting with this document, it automatically saves their work. What we have been working through is a lot of the growing pains. So say, for example, calcite is going to be a rhombohedron. Oops, I'm going to go like this. And RHOMBUS, 3 planes. And so the students are able to interact with this document, and then all they have to do is hit turn in, and then this document I'm able to see, evaluate, and grade. So the technology piece is pretty nifty. It doesn't come without its glitches, and so we're still continuing to work through that. So this is the Teams page. They're able to track their class notebook and things like that. But this is the main sort of entry portal the students are navigating. So a typical lesson actually would start here in notebook. So I'm going to get this out. You notice that my students over yonder here, they all have their own locker. And so if we were to say, click on Amanda's locker, she has some handouts and a notebook. So I'll minimize this, and you can actually see she's taken some really nice notes here. And these notes all go along with videos that I've prepared the students. So they watch the video and then fill in the notes as they go along. The goal here is to make our meetings as interactive as possible so that they have some of the background knowledge that they need in order to be able to have a productive discussion as we meet together. So that is what the students are seeing. In terms of me, this is the most, I have a whole bunch of slides of things that I've done, but most recently, my family this summer adopted a couple kittens. We have a family of 5. My son, Hunter, is a sophomore, and Hanson is an 8th grader, and my daughter is a 6th grader. And we adopted some cats. I took some former students rock climbing in Red River Gorge, Kentucky this summer. It was so great. An amazing sunset with a really fun group of young people. So I'm blessed to have these summers to be able to spend with my family, but I hope that I also bring that experience to the classroom, and I'm able to inspire students to be more global citizens. So keeping this video as concise as possible. Here is a syllabus. We do use a book, We lean on the book heavily at the beginning and less so as we go through time. So you'll notice that we start off up here with rocks and minerals. Certainly, I don't want them to memorize identification of rocks and minerals, but I want them to know that every rock and or mineral tells a story, and it's the story that we're interested in, because minerals and rocks and energy make an economy go round. And so if we better understand how to find those and how to and or recycle them, we can be better stewards of our environment, but also make sure that we have a functional and productive economy. So basically you see here that there's the topic list as you go down. Quizzes, tests, and projects, and the weighting. We rely heavily on the labs in terms of our grades. This is, of course, the to-dos. Have fun, love the earth, let's cooperate and work together. So all of these are pretty general ideas. Also, you'll notice here that we are meeting, let me just do this real quick, boom, boom. We meet here virtually in geology class. So it's Tuesday and Friday, and then I have office hours on Monday and Wednesday. So I use this time. It is instructional time, and they have a notice each day of what I expect them to be able to do. And yet I'm also available to help them do it. So there is daily work in this class, and I try to be as transparent with the students as I can. There is a major presentation. Part of it is the paper, and part of it is the presentation. So as we go through the course, what we're going to do is I will assign the students essentially a national park that goes along with the topic that we're covering, whether it's earthquakes or volcanoes or what have you. And it becomes, especially in class, a really great culture building idea. The first part is a little bit like pulling teeth. So here, what I'm asking for is just the nitty gritty of how did the geology of the park get built up. The second part, a couple paragraphs or more on how did it get carved. So if we're talking about Mammoth Caves, it's where did the limestone come from? How did it get there? Why is it in the current position? And then down here, how did the caves sculpt it? And then lastly, the environmental issues, the cultural resources, and all of that. It ends up, this right here is a significant part of their grade, but also they're able to turn in a rough draft. And I tell the students that first come, first serve. If you turn in these papers early, I'm going to get it back to you, and you can even revise it as many times as you want. Then they're going to take that information and put it into a presentation. And that presentation is going to be interactive, and it only can have pictures because we're attracted to pictures, and we're wondering as the pictures go up, like, where did that come from, or why, where is that? Or so the audience is already wondering when they see a picture what you're about to say. And so we don't need words. We can read words ourselves. So the students are going to make this presentation. We're going to learn about backpacking, canoeing, climbing. They have to talk about things to bring on this trip. So there's a lot of discussion of how to adventure. And then, of course, there is the geology component that they're graded on. So you'll see here, eventually when we get out of rocks and minerals and then a little bit of earth history, we're often running into earthquakes. So from this point on, really the main thrust of each meeting is going to be this presentation, and then we'll discuss some of the finer points of traveling there, and then also the geology and environmental issues surrounding these areas. So it pretty much starts up there with mountains and then ends with coral reefs. So that's the gist of the course. I am Mr. Polonki. I hope you found this informative and interesting, and I will just leave that contact information up there for you. And as I navigate back to turn this recording off, I hope that I answered all your questions and appreciate you giving me the responsibility of teaching your young people. So thanks again. Have a great day.